Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Synergistic CX podcast here on the CX channel, where CX professionals converge. I'm Erik Brooks, Vice President at Research Metrics and part of the core team here at the CX channel. With me today are Emil Tsankov and Oliveira, fellow members of the CX channel team. And today we're very fortunate to also have with us an expert in customer experience, Andy Firth, Head of Advisory and Analytics at Ipsos UK. And for our regular viewers, you'll see that our setup for this episode is actually quite a bit different than normal. For the first time, we're all together here in person, and we're in Tallinn, Estonia at the MSPA Europe Africa conference. This is a great event that takes place every year, and we decided to take advantage of the opportunity to record our podcast on site at the conference. Andy, it's great to have you here. Could you please tell our audience a bit about yourself and your work at Ipsos and also the MSPA?
Yeah, well, firstly, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. I'm Andy Firth. I'm Head of Advisory and Analytics at Ipsos Channel Performance. That's one of the divisions within Ipsos that looks after mystery shopping and audits. The role of my team really is once the data is collected, my team go to work on the analytics, combining it with other data sources, VOC, CX studies, sales data, any kind of client data to build a story and a narrative to basically help our clients drive their commercial outcomes and improve their business, essentially. From an MSPA perspective, I'm the upcoming president, which I am very much looking forward to, following in Christiani's footsteps. Thanks for having me.
We're excited to have you here. Today, we'll be looking at our latest study using the ABSA methodology, that is the aspect-based sentiment analysis, to decode customer feedback. Over the past year, we've analyzed online reviews spanning many different industries, from pubs and bakeries to bookstores, quick service restaurants, and luxury retail shops. We've covered a different industry in each of our previous podcast episodes, and we're excited to step into another industry today. So, which one is that? Well, today we're exploring another retail industry that's thriving despite online shopping still being used very heavily for this industry, and also the digital world, which is the world of electronics retail stores. In a world where price comparisons are just a click away and there's technical specs filling the screen everywhere on online sites, electronic retail stores face a relatively unique challenge, which is proving that their added value goes beyond the product itself. So you've got big ticket items like TVs and sound systems or smart appliances. And in those cases, customers are often looking for more than just a good deal. They want some guidance, they want reassurance, and they want a trusted advisor that can give them recommendations. So today we'll cover an industry sample of customer reviews, as we've always done. We'll look at the star ratings and the critical review response time, what we call the CRRT. We'll then move into an exploration of the marketing mix, and then the customer journey, including the steps, the activities, and the touch points. And then we'll get to everyone's favorite part of our podcast, which is the moment of truth, where we actually look at those results plotted against that customer journey map and see how this industry performs. After that, we'll explore the marketing mix funnel matrix. And then we'll talk about creating a starter voice of the customer survey for the electronics retail industry. Then we'll have a special section here with Meet the Expert, our guest Andy. We'll get some great insights from him. And then we'll talk about next steps and how you can learn more about our study today. So overall, we're going to explore a global analysis of online customer reviews for the industry and really uncover what truly influences a customer's satisfaction and their purchase decisions. From the role of staff expertise to the importance of actual hands-on experiences and having a very clear comparison between products, we're going to highlight the different moments in the customer journey that build trust or break it. Whether you're a retailer or a manufacturer, this episode's basically your backstage pass into the minds of today's technical shoppers. Our objectives today are to understand the digital influence of how the online reviews and social media conversations, as well as in-app ratings, really shape shopper perceptions. We're going to evaluate engagement strategies and identify the most impactful touch points from a customer's point of view. And we'll look at the marketing mix and also how the customer journey can be enhanced so that ultimately these retailers can find growth opportunities. Later in this episode, Andy will share with us how Ipsos uses mystery shopping for product recommendation analysis. And in a nutshell, they send trained evaluators into stores to pose as customers and see which brands and products are recommended, how they're described, and whether the sales approach actually aligns with the retailer or the manufacturer's strategy. As always, you can explore our full industry study for electronics retail stores by downloading this month's Synergistic CX magazine for free at our website, cx-channel.com. You can always subscribe to us as well on YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever social media site you might use so that you never miss a podcast. So now let's have a look at our industry study sample, and Emil will walk us through the details of that.
Thank you, Erik. So very briefly, we can see that our industry study sample is balanced with 2,700 places, a little bit over 13,000 reviews, and with that we are aiming at 99.5% confidence level and a margin of error of 2.5%. Moving on to the star ratings, it's a very high-level overview. What we can see is that we don't have expressed outliers, maybe a little bit on the APAC side. We see edging over the other regions, but really nothing to see here. From the average, we can see that all the regions are very consistent as to how the star ratings perform. The critical review response time, one of our favorite indicators, measures the time that it takes for the brands to answer critical reviews. Those are the reviews of 1 and 2 stars. And in this specific case, we still see a lot of red, but on average, 25% of the reviews are answered within 24 hours. This may seem like a low amount, but compared to the other industry studies that we have done, this is actually one of the best performing micro industries so far. And here we can see that there is a regional deviation where EMEA performs better with regards to answering critical reviews. Conversely, APAC does not. All right, so looking at the reviews with comments and without comments, obviously the reviews with comments offer the opportunity to provide responses which are actionable and targeted. And here, unsurprisingly, we do see a large deviation between those. And when we dive deeper and look into the regional breakdown and deviation, again, we can see that the performance is better, unsurprisingly, but the trend between EMEA and APAC still exists. So now we are going to dive deeper into the marketing mix and explore how the brands are doing with regards to that. In our industry studies, we use the 7P marketing mix, which is the mixture of the standard 4 product, place, price, promotion, plus the 3 which are attributed to the service industries: people, process, and physical evidence. And what we can see here is that people in this particular micro industry take almost 50% of all the conversations which we can collect from the online reviews and ratings. Second being process. And so there are 2 differences here. Number one, people taking 50%. This is something new that we have not seen so far. And the second thing is that process takes second place with almost 20% of the overall share of conversations. And we have never seen process taking a leading position with regards to marketing mix communications, and specifically what do customers talk or care about.
Andy, with the fact that the data shows that the people account for actually half of all the customer mentions, this shows just how critical staff really are to the in-store experience of these types of stores. If the customer is making an effort to actually visit a store instead of buying online, then they're probably often looking for a personal assistance, right? So in that context, what type of research can help retailers and manufacturers better support their frontline teams in this context?
Well, for me, this is a perfect lead into mystery shopping. Having that sort of sample size on customer reviews and getting that feedback about the importance of the employees is basically what we do in mystery shopping. So understanding what those employees are doing when those customers come into store, and absolutely to your point, if they have come into store, they are looking for assistance, they are looking for personalization, they are looking for the employees to understand their needs and effectively sell them an appropriate product. So tying mystery shopping up with your data would make a lot of sense to me, and that's what we would do in our day-to-day work.
It's like a test for the employees, but
absolutely, yeah,
focusing on the customer. Yeah.
Absolutely, and you can do it on behalf of the retailer, and just as importantly, you can do it on the manufacturer, because they want to know whether the employees and their third-party partners are recommending that product, what they're saying about that product, whether they're saying anything negative about that product, what they're saying about the competition. So it all ties up really nicely, and that's what we would do and answer your question.
Excellent.
And even if they understand the value proposition, because even for something as simple as a TV or a washing machine, nowadays the product is very complex.
Absolutely. It's for these big ticket items that may be bought every 5 years, say. It's to your point again, if a customer has gone into store, it's probably because they want to understand the product, they want to use it, they want to look at it, they might not understand it. So the employee is vital in those situations.
Mm-hmm. Why should I buy a $1,000 TV versus a $500 TV?
Absolutely. And that manufacturer really wants the employee to sell, and the retailer wants really to sell the higher ticket item. But at the end of the day, the employee's got to understand the customer needs.
Right.
Don't try and sell £1,000 TV if the customer hasn't got the budget, for example.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you, Andy. Let's now dive deeper into the customer mix, into the marketing mix, and look into what customers prioritize. And so these are the marketing mix element features. And here we have identified the top 5 features of the marketing mix elements. What we can see is that in people, the top 2 features that are prioritized are staff attitude and staff knowledge and expertise. These are 32%, slightly over 32%, and slightly over 12% of all conversations are about those 2. Followed by process, after sales support process, and sales and checkout process with close to 10% and a little bit over 6% of all conversations. And on 5th position is product, quality of product and service, with a total of a little bit over 5%. So these are the top 5 features that customers are prioritizing with regards to what they mention in their reviews. And this, I feel, aligns very well with what you just mentioned, and it's right spot on with what we see when we dive into the conversations.
Absolutely. I mean, those top 2 coming out as staff attitude, which I would class as making sure you approach the customer quickly and promptly, with a smile, a warm welcome. And as I said earlier, understand their needs, ask about the customer. Because once you know the customer, you know what you're selling. And then, of course, the knowledge and expertise. I mean, that's fundamental to the sale of a big ticket electronic type item. So completely backs up what we would see in this sector.
Okay, so welcome is pivotal. All right, let's now see the emotional side of these conversations, and let's dive into the marketing mix experiences. This is a chart that would help us understand the customer sentiments, thoughts and feelings. And what we see here is, we have again, the 7 marketing mix elements, and each of those are then further broken down into the sentiment of the online reviews and their aspects. So what we see here is that a lot of the conversations are actually in the red or in the critical area. And this is also something that we don't often see when we look into the marketing mix. From the first 5 marketing mix elements, people, process, product, and place, what we can see is that a little bit over 30% or 30% on average is in the critical area. But when we look into the process, which is the second marketing mix element, close to 50% of the conversations are in the critical area. So this is something that we have never seen so far. Close to 50% of the conversations to be in the critical area. I think the most that we have seen in the first 3 leading elements at most has been 30%. So that sets the stage for some interesting results when we get into the customer journey. All right, so very quickly, the key takeaways: close the response gap. 71% of the critical reviews do not get reply. 82% in Asia Pacific. That is number 1 takeaway. Number 2, empower frontline staff. People make up 50% of the mentions, 32% for attitude, 12% for expertise. People are the focus of this micro industry with regards to customer online reviews and ratings. Streamline processes and support, and guarantee quality and availability. And again, I'm really looking forward to see and to deep dive into the process when we talk about the marketing mix. That is going to show some very interesting results, I'm certain.
This is the end of part 1 of our 3-part episode here on the Synergistic CX podcast. In the next segment, we will explore more details of our electronics retail study and discuss the customer journey map and the key touch points that drive loyalty. Remember that you can always find the details of our studies for free on our website, cx-channel.com. And you can also follow the CX channel on LinkedIn, YouTube, or your favorite social media. Be sure to press that subscribe button so you don't miss our next episode.